Shots on the table, questions in the air. Jizzy brings the receipts, says the claim's unfair. No rumor dressed as gospel, no throne built out of smoke. If the lessons counterfeit, let the record show the proof. John Cordy McKnight, Beato in the frame. Shelling guitar, Max all attached to the name. Jizzy starts asking what the numbers really mean. Who sold the miracle, who edited the scene? A polished little promise with the checkout page grin. By the secret method, guaranteed you'll win. But when the notes get checked and the timeline gets read, the glitter falls away from the words they said. Bring the claims to daylight, line by line. Show the source, show the date, show the design. No pitch can hide forever behind a perfect take. Truth survives the questions that a fraud can't make. Call it out, let the whole room know. If the proof doesn't match, then the curtain has to go. Jizzy on the case, every claim under review. No more selling smoke, it's something tried and true. Call it out, let the record roll. Receipts over hype, evidence over gold.
Check, 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 check. What's up, Jamie? Electric Car. Hey, Gigi. Check, check, check. 1, 2. What's up, Jerry? Hey, what's up, Strumman? Beto. Hey, what's up, Custom? I started working on that track Tom suggested, everybody. Gonna try a new monster. It's called Ultra Red, White, and Blue Raz. We're going to review it. It's got an interesting... Should have did it in a wine glass. I'm gonna give it. I'm gonna give it a 7, solid 7. It's limited edition. I know, but I really like the can. I love the USA. So what's up, everybody? I know everybody comes on to see what I buy. Let me see. Can I get that over like that? Oh, you know what? Can I turn this? No. If I go this way, I'm more in the shot. Well, we'll get into some news because there is some more. This is the new one. It's a PV HP2 Spalted Maple. Again, these are $3,000 guitars. I get it for $1,300. Look at the neck on it. I'll show you the neck grain. Beautiful neck. All bird's eye. Made in the Czech Republic, handmade. Got your truss rod adjustment right here, so no covers on the neck. It was brand new. Had cover, pick up the plastic on it, and I'll show you here. This must be really new old stock because I don't know why, but it was never played. As you can see, plastic right there on everything. I took the pickup plastic off earlier. These guitars are so underrated, but again, they are a lot of money. But for $1,300, this was cheaper than the Les Paul. Great guitar. The honest opinion of what? Let's see. Let me go back. Let's see. What's up, Strawman? Jerry Boy's custom built. Jamie's in the house. Monster. Wonder what that one tastes like. It's a little weird. I don't know what to think of it yet. Actually, I'll give it a 7 for now. Maybe I'll say between a 5 and 7. I can't say they suck because I drink them, so we'll start at 5, and we'll see how it goes. I'll be fair. Is there 2 a.m. there? Jeez. Wow. The purple RG? Oh, yeah, that's the 550. What's up, Blue Mox? Joe's gonna want that one. He can't have that one. I think he traded. Did he trade the purple EVH I gave him? I don't know if he did. I don't see it there. So I got 2 more coming. I think one is next Thursday. Guitars. That might be the vintage Kramer, and then maybe a week or 2 after that is the Axis. And then I'm not gonna buy anything for a while. So I say, yeah, I'm sticking to that for now. Let me put this back up in here a little. But you never know. You know what I'm saying? I can't stop. It's a bad habit. Can I stick this under here? Oh yeah, that'll work really good. Except it's a pen, it might roll. Who knows? Let me put that over there. So I'll take my iPad because you know I like to take pictures of everything. But this Jace Allen is on my fucking nerves. This guy knows absolutely nothing about guitars. He came out with another video today talking about moisture. Now, he claimed the moisture meter read 60 in his house. My moisture inside my house is 30. 60 is the top end, almost unacceptable. And he wants to do moisture tests in his house. And we'll get into all that, because if you're doing woodworking or anything like with guitars and raw wood, that's an unacceptable number. This guy just does not want to be wrong. He just wants to say it's how people hate the gear. No, we just want you to be friggin' honest, man. Just say, it's great for the money that I bought it for. That's all you need to do. And then, let's see. Let's go into the photos. I'll show you some of the photos. Let's see. We'll go into some of the stuff. And then I'll talk about some of the, let's go back. We'll talk about some of the stuff that's going on. So, I don't know if you know what this is. But you can see Harley Benton on there. But you'll also see, thank you for your message. Now, just to show you, here's my email. They sent me a little thank you through there. You're probably wondering what that's about, but we're not going to expose that right away because I have Guitar Max, I got Jace Allen, Scar My Guitar, and Ball Shredder all in a say line of crossfire over what they shill. Because I asked them a question they can't get out of. And we're going to see if they answer it properly. Now, Bessimeter D300 pinless. Now, this was on Jace Allen. Let me move this over here. You can see him scratching his head, unsure of what he's doing. I said another fail as a collector. I know that mine. Oh, let me. I had to refix that. So let's go to where. That's not the one I fixed. Let me see. Is it this one? No. So as another fail as a collector, I know that mine is at 30%, bro. Give up. You will eventually block me. You're a fraud, and I can negate every comment. Why you're just a shilling fraud. I have the letter from one of your affiliate companies. So I have a letter. So either way, you've been exposed. Next is IRS on all the unclaimed taxes for the gear received that you probably didn't claim as payment. This is part of the program that YouTube is going on, unmonetizing stuff and cracking down on a lot of YouTubers. You can bet your sweet ass he's one of them. Sorry, Ball Shredder, you're next. So you better make sure you have paid your taxes. So then he was talking about the humidity in his room as he's testing these guitars, trying to negate what Dylan said. And I said, actually, let's look up real stats again. For general indoor comfort and home health, 60% relative humidity, RH, is right at the upper edge of acceptable. The standard recommended range for a house is 30 to 15%, with 60% being the absolute maximum cutoff. If you were storing or building instruments, especially solid body electronics, set neck guitar, 60% RH is high. So he's a buffoon who knows absolutely nothing about wood and statistics. I'm going to take him down one by one. Another fail as a collector, blah, blah, blah. So I went into that. And you can see that's what I sent him. And then it's got, the one with this picture on there. I actually fixed it, and that was the other one, part of it, so you could see the whole thing. And it was on his page. There it is. So, the other thing I was talking about is the Thoman agreements at one time, right? But there is more to this. Let's see. Becoming an authorized Fender or Gibson dealer. So I looked this up because I know they have certain requirements when you're a dealer, like Thoman, and that you have contracts. Becoming an authorized Fender or Gibson dealer requires meeting strict corporate dealer agreements, substantially financial buy-in, and specific brick-and-mortar operation standards. Both companies protect their brand equity in regional territories, fiercely making direct dealership status prohibitive of small and home-based operations. Physical commerce storefront. Neither manufacturer will approve home base online unless major established e-commerce or pop-up business, blah, blah, blah. Physical commerce storefront, and they have substantial initial buy-in. Fender typically requires an initial opening inventory order running tens of thousands of dollars to stock a baseline of array. So as gear product, I know that EVH was asking 120 grand. I have a friend that had a store that was dealing. They asked for a lot of money up front. Gibson enforces high barrier to entry buy-ins, often demanding anywhere from $50,000 to over $100,000 in opening orders. So this is why they protect their names. So let me explain. When they don't want, because they're strict buy-ins, becoming a dealer like a Thoman, they want to make it secure that you're not using them as a like a clickbait. Like sometimes when you go into a supermarket, they call them dead items. and or something to draw you in, like a sale clearance thing here. It's all marketing for selling, but what they're trying to do is protect their brands with strict requirements with buy-ins as a dealer, so that you're not using them in a certain way, and they also are trying to protect their name and stuff that way. So, you know, they have an annual minimum quota and floor thing. So, space dealers must commit quarterly or annually reorder minimums to obtain active dealer status, or they cut you off. Territory distance restrictions, business credibility and licensing. There's all kinds of stuff that goes into that. Now, somebody asked me to look into the Leo James guitar, the Tsunami, that the ball shredder was. What? For 100 and like, you know how they do these, the game changer, you won't believe. Scar My Guitar did one, Ball Shredder did one, Jace did one. I think Avery had it on the other night, and I don't know what Leo James that was. The verdict, if you buy a Leo James Tsunami, treat it as a modder special or a DIY project platform rather than an instrument that is stage ready out of the box. If you are comfortable taking a neck off to reline it, leveling a high fret, or doing a full floating bridge setup, like Avery was talking about, it represents a solid value for the money. If you expect perfect quality control without touching a screwdriver or a truss rod key, the experience can be hit or miss. So I said, want to looking at a fix the high E? Effing lying page hills. It's over. The artist shield is exposed. Now, this I don't know what the name of the channel was, but it was one of their channels. And on their channel, they had 1.8 million views. So here's the whole thing. It tells everything. The Leo James Tsunami gained attention, blah, blah, blah. Fret inlay factory, CNC machine error. You can see even the machines have quality control issues. So, like, there's the whole thing right there. And you can see that first one, quality control, CNC error. It's well-known documented cosmetic manufacturing flaw in the Tsunami involves the fretboard inlay markers. Certain batch, even official product photos feature the 12th fret inlay repeated on the 17th fret marker. So CNC machines are only as good as the people running them. The machines are great, but there's a lot of inexperienced people that work in factories, and no one talks about that. You get what you pay for in help as well. Again, I said that I have a friend that shouldn't be doing QC checking because he's not a luthier at Gibson. Now, does he know what a guitar should be set up like? Yes. But do I think he's qualified for the job? Absolutely not. So there's some more info for you. And it'll continue until these guys figure out I'm not playing around with them no more. Let's see. Let me go back and look at some of the comments. Aquanet. Does it taste like Aquanet? Let's see. Now that you say that. I have a drinking problem, by the way. No. That one did come out, though. You know what it tastes like? It tastes like a blue raspberry, to be honest. It's not bad. Maybe with a little hint of strawberry. It's a different taste. Let's see. Joe's gonna want what? Oh, the green, the purple. Hello, Jip Boys in chats. That's Blue Mox, Dangle. And I wonder if I could do it on this one. Let's see. Top fans. No. Let me see. Get back out of there. Should I have done that? No. Live leader. Let's see. This is going to be a great show. What's up, Diamond? Diamond Davey in the house. Yeah, they think we hate them all, but you know, a lot of people are changing their tune a little bit. I think a lot of people are watching this channel Ball Shredder said something about he paid all his taxes, and Jerry's made a comment to him, and I think they're all watching this channel. I think they're scared shitless, to be honest. You know, Andy Wood still hasn't apologized after I sent him a personal email. So I know where he stands as a human. He's a piece of shit. He's got an ego and doesn't want to apologize. And any day he wants to get on the stage with me, if he thinks he can tear me up, I'll put money on the line to shut his mouth up. But I'm calling him out. Michael's in the house. Michael Lamore. I don't know how is that right? Let's see. It's gonna be a great show. I shared. Oh, you shared the link. Thanks, man. Oh yeah, Philip McKnight's gonna probably go down too, because see, these guys again are too stupid to understand that these videos are direct evidence of the guitars they've been getting. Whether it's from another country, it's being sent through mail, and I guarantee they haven't claimed every fucking guitar or piece of gear in a year. And it would be easy to track, and then do an audit, a guitar audit, equipment audit, and see if they paid their taxes on what they had in their videos. It's that easy. See, these people didn't think about that, did they? That's why I love buying gear with my own money. You've been sharing it too as well, Michael? Thanks, man. What's up, Mark? All the Thoman chills, they're getting paid, man. And they see, here's the problem. If you're an affiliate and they sent you a ringer, there's stuff that you are not allowed to say because you signed probably an NDA. You're probably not allowed to tell them how much you get paid or this or that. I don't know what they sign or what's in an NDA, because I was offered one and said no, but it wasn't with a guitar company. It was with Moore. And I said, no, I'm not interested. And they're like, okay, if you change your mind, please contact us. Because I did some Moore products in the past. You think Thoman's selling old guitars is a new hot item? It could be. You don't know how long those guitars. I mean, if back when turntables and those big sound systems for your house were like a big deal, there was like a place called Service Merchandise way before like Brandsmart and all those kind of places, and they used to come out with some stuff that was way more advanced, but it came from Japan, and I've toured Japan. They're ahead of us. Now, what I will tell you too is, and Jerry sent me a really good video. Jerry, if you have that in a link, post it so people can see. He was talking about Fender and guitar money, and how like some of this Fender's only raised their amount of pricing at 5% across the board, where other companies have raised it a lot of money. But the one thing that Gibson did, they bought a factory, and I've been to that factory. Gibson owns a factory, like a bricks and mortar factory, and they make Gibsons over there. I have a Gibson Les Paul from Japan that is a Randy Rhoads. It's a 73 cream Les Paul. I put it back away. You can see it in older videos hanging on the wall. But that guitar was a Randy Rhoads spec. I swear to God, that guitar is at least 13 to 15 pounds. I never weighed it, but it's very, very heavy. And I was like, how did that little guy play that guitar if that was a spec? Hey, what's up, Mechanic Jams? Yeah, so I'm working on that track for everybody as well. I'm still going through, like, I don't know if I should do like more like on a bluesy side, you know, like or maybe like or like a rock thing, something like that. So I don't know. Sasquatch, what are you missing? A whole bunch of stuff. So I went after Jace Allen, and I got a letter from Harley Benton. It's about Guitar Max, Ball Shredder, Jace Allen, Scar My Guitar, all the shills. And I asked them a question they can't get out of. I got to call him in the morning. I'm not sure, but you know what? I might see if he wants to come over a little bit later. I just have to, see if it's okay with the wife. I know if he comes over around 8, we could probably go on 8 to 10. Then he's going to bed at 10:30. So maybe me and him are going to go out to dinner. So maybe I'll bring the kid. My kid loves him. He's a great guy. So maybe we're going to all go out to dinner and then come back here and then do the live. Yeah. So I'll find out tomorrow. So far he's good. I would text him, but I'm using my phone. The Digitech drop pedal, yeah, but I don't need it because it's in here in the Kemper. It's called virtual capo or something, or pitch, so I can change the pitch. So I could set up patches with standard, half, full. So so if I have like a guitar like with the tune on it with the Floyd, or I have like a Les Paul, I can actually do it drop and do it. But the Digitech drop is good, but I've tried them all against the Kemper, and it seems like the Kemper tracks better, especially on high leads. The Digitech and everything are great for rhythms down low, but I seem to have a little bit of lag when I'm playing really fast runs at my speed up high. I don't have that problem with the Kemper, which is crazy. The Company of the Misfits, a name for the groups, are Jizzy. Yeah. Yeah, I think Kayla uses the drop. It's easy to slip IRS a note. Yes, it is. So that was the other part of that Sasquatch. I confronted Jason. I said, everything you say is wrong, and you're probably eventually going to block me. I go, or so that nobody could see the truth. But the second part of it is the claims with the IRS. So, and Jerry knows. Ball Shredder already made something in his comment about that. I pay my taxes. So they're all watching somehow or another, or they're being told what to do. I'm pretty sure Dylan Talks Tone watches. There's a bunch of people that watch. They just don't come on and comment. But eventually, because you have to understand, even if I do a video like this and it goes to 200 right after the show, by the time I wake up in the morning, it's at 4, and a couple days later at 5, and it usually goes up around 5 to 600 of different people have watched it. Thanks, man. What's up, Tennis? Yeah, the Jazz Brass Improv. Yeah, that was really cool. I didn't get to watch a lot of it. I was just, I've been, the day before I was with lawyers, um, all day. Jerry knows some of that is, stuff not related to music. And then today I was with the Social Security office. I was talking to Jerry and everybody in between. Then I had to run and pay. I met with the HOA where my uncle's old house is, because I'm on the deed. I'm going to rent that out. And then I picked up the guitar, so I was running around. Then I went grocery shopping, did dishes, cleaned the floor. But that's, I got a Swiffer. You just spray it and then just push it around. Works great. No bending over, no nothing. No vacuum, no pulling nothing. I got all tile. My tiles through the whole house. So it's like, I do a section of the house and then sit down and take a break. My body, since the accident and the second surgery, is just not the same, And I know that Ronnie Shea is watching all of these. Yeah, she can go fuck herself, from Progressive, unethical bitch. She's been reported to the Bar Association, so John Richards is going to have a fucking problem. I don't give a fuck. She can come on here and look at all the fucking guitars. I don't need the fucking money. The point is, you insured a fucking driver with broken safety latches and already claimed liability, but you don't want to pay me out because you're a piece of shit insurance company. Yeah. And wait till I got on the fucking stand. They think I'm fucking hard on these fucking people, these shills. Wait till I get on that fucking stand. I'm going to fucking bury them in comments. I can't stand fucking hypocritical insurance. Take millions and billions and trillions of dollars a year. Then when somebody gets hurt, they want to fucking. He was carrying grocery bags. Shut the fuck up, you idiots. What am I, 90? In a fucking casket? Yeah, the improv was great. What's up, Christopher? The Jizzy Misfits? What guy's channel? That I was ragging on? Jace Allen? The channel that I went after is Jace Allen Music, and he was posting. So him and Dylan Talks is kind of in a little bit of a feud, and he's trying to negate what Dylan talks about. To be honest, Dylan didn't know about CCA wiring from China, and he doesn't know about the different woods and the densities, and that there's like 50 to 60 species of the three of the mahogany and botanical 600 species. About just because you call mahogany, there's different variations of mahogany, just like rosewood fingerboards. Not all rosewood is the same. Work's been stupid busy lately. Nice. Yeah, Jace Allen. He's a piece of shit shiller. That's my opinion of him. Why? Because I see what he says, and I know that it's a lie. And I know that he doesn't know what he's talking about. And he may even know what he's talking about, but can't say because he signed contracts as an affiliate to these companies. So I gave him the benefit doubt. I said, hey, you want a fucking answer now, or do you want me to show the letter? Oh, Randy's Attic. He's a great. See, now he shows guitars that he buys, but he's not a jerk. Randy's got a great channel. Randy's Attic, it's a great channel. Oh, Workman's Comp. If I don't say Fender or Gibson, it's like, yeah. And then Jonathan Nathan Corda, I didn't take a picture of him, but he was saying something about digital and tube amps are never going to die. And I'm like, bro, you flip-flop every third day. First, digital's great, and you use this, and you use that. And then Tom Bakovac said that you only need a guitar and an amp when he's using Kemper in the studio. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about. They're just fucking lost. They're sheep. They don't even know how to come up with their own fucking content. Like Randy. Randy doesn't watch me. We know each other, but he doesn't know. I've never pitched my channel on his thing. Yeah, EVH is Fender. And like I said, there was a reason why Eddie went to PV. They made an iconic amp for him, and they made an iconic guitar. You can still buy them. They're just called HPs. Nobody talks about PV. I don't know why. These are great guitars. Yeah, I can show you. Let me show you. Can I get a close up at the top? It's all spalted maple. Beautiful, beautiful guitar. I don't know if you can see the bird's eye. Let's see. Let me untangle me from the guitar stand. The guitar stand didn't want to let it go. Let me see. Can I show you the front? Let's see. Can we get it? Look at that neck. Jesus. Incredible guitar. Now, are they overpriced? Absolutely. But I got this one for $1,300. $3,000 guitar for $1,300. A classic, $1,500. The deals are out there. Teabag uses a Kemper in the studio. Third power amps confirm that. Yeah, so there's a lot of immature people. There's a lot of people that like to lie. A lot of people are gonna bag and stuff. A lot of people change their tune every 3 days. They just don't know what they're doing anymore. Who else? I just saw something else, but I can't remember now. Right before I came in here. Yeah, he's the Schiller of vintage gear. He wants to say that vintage is great and vintage is the best, but yet like you'll see a Line 6 pedal on his board or a Kemper in the studio that he uploaded all his and offered him. It's unbelievable the stuff that I see and hear and then find out. Yeah, Peavy's awesome. I don't know why more people don't play their guitars. To be honest, if I was offered another deal, I would go with Peavy, the PVH HP2s. And they still make a 6505 head. They make the 6505 plus, which is, they got the 34s, the 84s, and I don't know if they do a 6L6, I believe, too. Oh, nice. Oh, by the way, mechanic, I know what I just saw. Ola England. Now, he's a cool guy because even though he has his own guitar company, he's not afraid to tell you what other guitars are just as good. He got a Kiesel today. Oh, my God. It's called the Antares. That thing is ridiculous looking. I never seen a Kiesel like that. You got to check it out. Have a beer and get in trouble. Wednesday is hump day. Cosmic, you gonna hump the 420? Oh, your guitar plays the 6505. It's a great amp, and I think they're even better now, like the newer 6505s, because they got like those masters for the lead and stuff. Oh, you saw the video? Dude, that red in there. Is that see-through? It looks like it's see-through. I couldn't tell. That guitar is ridiculous looking. I I didn't watch the whole thing. Did he say how much it would cost? Is he going to make that a signature guitar of his? He's a beta simp. Yeah, but that Kiesel he got, dude, is sick. You got to see the guitar. I was like, damn, I want one of those. I'll trade you my PV. No, I wouldn't actually. Kiesel makes really good stuff, but you know the NOSs they're crazy guitars. Even the tuners on them, they're beautiful, and so far they don't go out of tune easy. He did it straight up his own guitars. The bolt on had more sustain. Nice. I have a pink Solar. It's the pink Cataclysmo. It glows in the dark. I hear thunder. What's funny about these guitars? The Gibson is more gainy than these. Like, that's not a lot of gain. These things are fucking amazing. Handmade in the Czech Republic. Ridiculous, ridiculous guitars. Peavy, give me a fucking deal. I'll take that. Change your tuning pegs. Yeah, I need to change. Kiesel's overpriced, but they do make great guitars. You got to remember that's Carvin. But I'll tell you what, Kiesel. If it wasn't for Kiesel, Carvin would have went under because Kiesel actually made the value of Carvin guitars go through the roof. Yeah, the Kiesel staying in tune. Yeah, we've been having weird weather here. Very strange. I need to change the tuning pegs for sure. You got a monsoon? Yeah. You're what? Mechanic James, you know my weight Jackson. Hard to make you got it. Oh yeah. I had if you look back in some older videos, I had some Jackson Explorers. Man, I don't they got another one. I had sold them. I got really good deals on closeouts and I ended up selling them. So I bought the Explorers. It was for a man. I probably can't tell you that. It had something to do with the Scorpions. Rain sideways. Yeah, PV. I don't understand. I don't see a lot of people ever pushing PV. I don't know. And then 60 Cycle Hum, Tennis sent me a thing on there. He's in a fucking Fender commercial, so I sent Bud Cole a nasty email. I'm like, dude, what is up with your artist relations department? I go, somebody in there's. I go, that guy can't even fucking play. He looks like somebody's dad. Not to offend anybody, because I'm somebody's dad too, but bro, when are you and Gibson going to get out of the social media business and start hiring some fucking real guitar players to push your product? Like, what great commercial would be with Fender or Gibson with Guitar Center. Some kids fucking playing a Harley Benton at a fucking Guitar Center, and Eric Clapton walks over. Hey, mate, try one of these because that ain't going to get it. You know how devastating that would be? Good luck. I bought it for you and walked away. How cool of a fucking commercial would that be? Eric Clapton gifting a real nice Fender to a fucking kid who's having trouble because the guitar doesn't play well. I don't know why they can't think of that shit in their commercials department or artist relations. You know, it's just baffling to me that they're not smart enough to figure that out. Yeah, Slash made Gibson millions. And he didn't even use a fucking Les Paul on the first album. It was a copy. That's why I'm not. You know what? Like I said before, I don't mind if somebody's gonna buy a Chipson or a Harley Benton, but you got to let people know what they're getting into. You're gonna have to put money into that because again, like I was explaining to Aaron in Guitar Center today, my problem is when you sell that guitar to a kid who's watching these videos and he wants to play like a Guitar Max. I'm not gonna say he sucks, but he's a one trick pony. But he's not incredibly gifted in the guitar. He's probably doing more videos and probably barely plays. But a kid sees that doesn't play and they're ooh, and he goes out and he buys one of these Harley Benton Leo James guitars, and they get it home. The dad doesn't even know how to put strings on it, let alone fucking do a neck adjustment. And then you're spending $200-300 more in setup, new strings, this, that, because a real guitar luthier or somebody gets a hold of it and goes, "You're gonna have to put some money into this to make it playable." That's my problem. Then you're ripping off a father, a hardworking father that wants to get his kid into playing guitar with a dream, and he's fucking disappointed. That's just so fucking wrong on every kind of level for me. It just is. You know what I mean? I don't like that at all. You're stealing from the American people. You're not telling them honest. Like by the way, that this came in with no trem bar, Joe. If Joe Wentz is watching, my first guitar that came from another Guitar Center, the bar wasn't in. Luckily, they had a box of bars, so I ended up getting one anyway. Yeah. Oh, a documentary about Fender getting destroyed by the Fender shop in China that Fender owns. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I don't like. Ripping a family off because I see a lot of people suffering. There's probably some of you guys suffer, Work is hard, especially older. Your retirement doesn't pay a mortgage and two car notes, plus the insurance and the supplement insurance and then this and the food and the cell phones, you know. It's getting harder to live for most people. What's up, fur dog? Oh, 70 mile per hour, yeah. And the thing is, like today, I was on Studio Rats Live again. Vinny's here in Tampa somewhere, and the other guys are Europe. And they were talking about hair when I got on there, and I was in the school line, and I said that, so they laughed about it and stuff. And then people were talking about tone, and I said the most important part of an amplifier is the transformer and the wire in that transformer. It will immensely change a guitar amp's tone. And all four of them agreed. And then I said, Weber is one of the best transformers I ever owned. And they said, and they make great speakers that no one talks about as well. So there's four guitar players that play in bands that understand what I'm talking about, and they don't shill. It's amazing when you talk to real players like you guys or them, and they understand the concept. Oh, the court, yeah. Oh, you're no real tree problems. Power out for 24. You got to get a generator for a dog. I got a 36,000-watt generator. It's buried in the ground. It's a four-cylinder car engine, but it runs my house. My house is around 3,000 square feet. This one, and it two 5-ton ACs, the refrigerator, all the TVs, all the lights, but it runs on natural gas from the city, so I'll never run out of gas. And I've run the generator up to 2 weeks, and then I had to put oil in it because it will burn the oil. I don't like the Zach Wild guitars. Their necks feel really cheap to me. They're cool as fuck looking, and I really wanted one, but I played the it looks like a Les Paul. And people said they were made by Les Paul at one point. I'm like, no, they're not. They ain't even close. Oh, that's what your lawsuit was about, being ripped off. Yeah. See, the insurance companies they're like a lot of the old school guys. They're not hip to YouTube, but so much information gets around with these insurance guys not wanting to pay out and rip people off that most of these people that end up on a jury understand that, and they reward people for millions and millions of dollars, and they try to settle. They offered me, the first offer was 50 grand. I laughed. I told them I've blown 200,000 in a night at a fucking casino. Are you kidding me? You go fuck yourself. That's what I told my lawyer, and he was like, "What?" And then I told him, you know, and then I had my friend call him that recommended. They're like, "Dude, he don't play around. Just if he tells you, he's not gonna take anything less than 5 million, you can bet he's gonna pay. He's gonna keep paying you until you get that." And he's the kind of guy that will spend 50 million to get five back. Why? Because it's the same principle about ripping kids off. The insurance companies do that to poor families. I have the money to fight them back, and I don't like that they do that to other families. That's bullshit because they don't have the funds to push back. I do. That's what I can't fucking stand. I had words today with the new nurse at the assisted living my uncle's in. I go, I've been calling Greg, who was the head nurse. He's not there no more, so he must have been gone for months, and I haven't gotten a response. So I call there, and they tell me that there's a new nurse, and I talk to her. I go, why didn't you? I go, I pay $5,000 to $6,000 out of my pocket a month for my uncle. I said, why the fuck did you not call every fucking family in there and say, hey, I'm Stephanie, the new nurse here. I'll be in charge of the care. If you have any questions, here's my email. I go, you're making millions upon millions of dollars per month out of that facility, and you don't have the decency to let the families know who the fuck you are. I said, that's not even acceptable, and it's unfucking professional. I don't care who the fuck you are. When you act like, so she started to yell, and I said, don't think anything different of who I am. I said, I have the ability to close that fucking place down, so don't fuck with me. You don't. And she said, you can't close this down. I go, you have no fucking idea who I know. I said, I will shut that fucking company down. I go, and if your CEOs get a hold of me and I tell you what I just told you, you might not have a job tomorrow because you have no idea who I am. What's up, Brooklyn? What's up, Stevie? I don't know what he's playing, but John Mayer's not playing PRS either. I don't know if I've said that before, so fuck it. I'm gonna. He's working with another luthier that's not with PRS. It's like a boutique builder. Oh, your father begged you for years to give guitar lessons? Starting the road's difficult with sketchy. Absolutely. Is my generator my Cummings? No, it's Generac, I think. I think they make the big ones for the hospitals. Yeah, yeah, there it is, Generac. Yeah, I should have read your whole comment. It's a Generac. That's 36K. Yeah, they always want to argue. Brooklyn in the house. How about a two-stroke Jimmy? He might get you down the canal. I live on water, but it's just a canal water here. 453 with a two-pole generator. Yeah, my electric bill's been high too, but I run 2 5-ton ACs all day long because I sit in here. I do the live streams with the all the equipment, and there's usually one, two, three TVs on at all times. My electric bill is at 300. That's I don't think that's high for a 3,000 square foot house with two AC 5 tons at 70. Oh, it's like we got to turn the AC on. Fuck off. Turning nothing down. I'll turn them lower. 65. Got to keep the humidity in the guitar room under 60. Right, Jace? Stupid fuck. And then he wants to cry. Oh, you gotta get comments. People say that it's not a good guitar and it's not. It's a piece of shit. Let people know it's a piece of shit that they're gonna have to put money into it. Maybe you get a ringer guitar by accident. And the reason why I was talking to the assisted living today, I'll tell you the whole story. My uncle fell. So the hospital keeps calling me. They're like, we can't get a hold of the assisted living. I go, well, didn't they do the report and send it with the EMS? See, he's got a couple stitches above his eye. But they wanted to know what kind of care he needed based on the injury he had. Did he fall from a bed? Did he fall from a wheelchair? Did he fall downstairs? and the nurse didn't put anything in the report. And then the front desk was like, um, you'll have to contact her tomorrow. I go, do you know 90% of the injuries that kill elderly people are head traumas? I go, so that's all on you. I'm telling you right now. I'm recording this conversation. If you don't call that nurse right now and give her the fucking number, you might end up with a lawsuit if he dies in the middle of the night because he didn't get his head fucking done right. 99, 100, I don't give a fuck how old he is. Oh, 3 or 4K? You know what's expensive is the hookups, installing it. But my wife's uncle is a master electrician for a company called Craig Electric, and they do all the conveyor belts in the airport. So, when I redid the house, he came over with his crew, and it was going to be like 20 grand to rewire the house with everything. He asked for 10, so I gave him 14. You know what I mean? So I, you know, and her dad was a mason, so the fireplace, if you look in my videos, that fireplace was done by my wife's father, and it's all Chicago brick around the outside. Her father did that. He was doing it for free, but we would take him out to dinner, we would give him money, pay for stuff, take him on trips. He passed away. Yeah, that's a new one too. Two-way. This one too. You haven't seen this one, I don't think. That's new. That's new. The one in the back is new. Anything else new in here? No. And I got two more coming. I got a Kramer CR120 and a Axis. They're on hold. Yeah, Dweezil's app is amazing. I like this thought mentality over the pentatonic. There's so much you can do in that. Jace is gay. Hey, what's up, Scott? 3 heat pumps. I can't see all of that. Let's see what it says. Carpentry. Yeah, a lot of it depends where you live. Like, I'm in Florida, and it's not that I'm the farthest south. What happens is this the roundness of the Earth. Even though we're here, we're underneath that hump, but we're farther out. If you're underneath like Brazil, it's cooler, even though it's farther south. So Florida is up near more along that equator, so it becomes hotter. But like here, it's really hot. It's like 100, 110. But again, the room that all my guitars are in is a humidified room. It's climate controlled. It's got Spanish cedar in there. I got rolling racks. All the guitars aren't sitting on top of each other. They're all standing up on racks this way, so the heaviest of the weight is that, or you can store them on the sides in the case. But you never lay them flat and stack them, which people make a mistake. Even when your cases, you don't want 5 cases pushing down and the humidity gets trapped in between the case and they stick together and they pull apart and ruin. There's a lot of tricks to go into storing guitars as well. It's just one of those things that a lot of people don't understand, and they don't. It's like guitars and maintenance and stuff. I wipe everything down. When I get off the live stream, if I play 5 guitars, I wipe them all down and then put them back up. You have to. But again, there's deals out there. This is a Les Paul Classic. I got that for $1,500 with the case. This had no case, but I got it for $13. It was brand new. You can see that there's plastic still on it. When this came in, it had plastic all over the pickups. I don't know if you can see me pulling this. I had plastic all over the pickups, plastic here. Everything is covered in plastic. It had plastic over the pickups. The only thing I really don't like that I can fix is the knobs spin really, really easy. But you can do that. If you had like a 16th note delay, you could do cathedral. You know what I mean? And the thing about this, if I take the gain off of it, it still sounds good. How's that a window? Let's see. How's that go? Man, I forget that one too. I hit that G. It would sound like. Hot-blooded, check it and see. I got a fever. Yeah. Well, the other thing is this house, the back part of the house was an addition, but the front part of the house is all shiplap in the walls, and it's all plaster walls, so it's like concrete on your walls. So it's like got a barrier. And then I spray foam the whole attic. Spray foam on a roof is a huge difference with the heat beating down. Yeah, and he's my uncle. You know, I don't like I buy lunch and stuff for the guys at Guitar Center because they know what they're doing over at the one where I go to. So I bring them McDonald's and pizza, whatever. I don't mind sharing. If they take care of me, I take care of them. It that's how it should be. I help you, you help me. You know what I mean? Oh, it is satisfying to take the plastic off. It's a new old stock PV. It was sitting in all the plastic and it had some dust on it, so it was just sitting around, but it's new. Tooth and nail. I don't remember that one. Tooth and nail. George has a man. He did something crazy in one of the songs on that album. What was he doing? He did some kind of weird stretch. I don't know what it was. I forget some of those songs. Did I have it right? I don't know. I would have to go there. Straight to the trooper. Wait, what is that? Shit. Ah, wait. Something like that. No. I don't remember all those. I used to play those. I used to play Scarred by Dangerous Toys. That's a great song too. Oh, Chris from Sabotage, yeah. He was a huge influence on me. That was devastating for me when I found out he died because we were close friends. It's a Kemper. Direct. This is an Inglehead. Let's see, can I put a phaser on here? What if I put it after? Let's see what that does. Yeah, kind of. Let me see if I store this, what I can do. That sounds a little better with the ducking out. So let me get out of here. So what I'll do later, I'll sign this to a pedal. Then I can just do that. steady sound on the camper. That's kind of cool. Is it? I forgot to play that. Let's see. I forgot how to play on Skinny Bop too. I don't remember all the poison stuff either. I think it's easier to play like that. I seen him play that with bar chords though. He played a lot of these guys play it different live. Not a 7. When it, no, that would be. I think if you look at that. AC/DC is very brilliant in how they write. They wrote 5 to 1. E, resolve to the 5, to the 1. E minor pentatonic. What a brilliant E, there's an A to the A. AC/DC was brilliant. They wrote a lot of great songs too. A lot of great songs. Let's try the blue again. My new, not quite yet sponsor. I'm the one is a trick. He does that with a delay. A lot of people don't understand. That swing is really hard to play. There's a delay creating that swing trick because he plays it straightforward. So you gotta try to create that swing. And that's a tough song to play. I've never seen anyone play that right, including myself. I just saw a guy do it with the delay. He does it really good. It's kind of like What's the one he does? That that fast part where it sounds like he speeds up. That's a delay pedal. That he doesn't speed his fingers up. That's done with a delay. Where did I see the? No, man, I can't remember his name. He did a bunch of old videos on the Van Halen stuff. Mike McCready, Soundgarden. Who's gonna sing? Here, let me go back. I see some comments. Oh, the guy from Sabotage. Yeah, they're really good. You're late to the show. What's up, Ace? Yeah, it's the Czech Republic. I got two of those new old stocks. I got the Tiger's Eye one, if you've seen it in the other videos, and then this one. Those are great guitars. I think I'm not gonna say for the money they're worth it, but if you can get them on the deal, like the new old stocks, like if you can get one for 15 or 17, uh, I would equivocate that to a Les Paul Standard, if not better. Almost like a custom shop. They're that good. Alone again, breaking the chains. Yeah, I'm the one that's tough, man. Yeah, Brett Michaels is gonna have to take it easy for a while. And to be honest, it's from his drinking because he's diabetic. Because I'm diabetic and I've been diabetic since for 20 years and I've never had kidney stones and I've never had an issue and I don't drink a lot of water. I hardly drink water at all. Pawn Shop might. I drink Monster and soda all day and like green tea. I do drink some water, but I've never had a problem with kidney stones. The only time I had problems like that is when I was drinking a bottle of Yukon Jack on the road every single day, and then the 12 shots of Jack Daniels, and then the 10 beers. Cry Tough is great too. That's a tricky little song to play too. Cry Tough. Life Goes On's great. So I used to play all those. I had a Poison tribute band but I could we couldn't we were trying to practice and stuff, but I was having back issues. That's right before, so I had to stop playing for a while because I didn't know I had back problems. So like knowing I had a back problem, I tried to do a show, and I did two shows. I think when I didn't know, and like because the doctors were saying you're gonna have to work out, you're gonna have to push yourself, but at the same time, then they were like you got to be careful. I'm like, well, which one is it? So now I'm just taking my own advice and not do anything for a little bit till I figure out everything because I don't want to fall off a stage or trip over a cable or someone else's foot and fall on the stage and end up paralyzed. So I'm having to think some stuff out. Yeah, I played Axe Effects for years. I switched to Kemper because the amps are way better than anything out there. That's a stock head. I was a patch that I created right out of the Kemper with someone else's profile. Now the NAMs, everyone was Headrush was pushing the NAM file thing, but what they don't tell you is Headrush was always also paying all these affiliates to pump the NAM in the Headrush, and they sold out of them. So great job to them. But the NAM is not even close to a Kemper or a Quad or an Axe Effects. Why? You don't have the control parameters over stuff. Like I can go into that phaser and there's 5 pages. I can go into the amp and there's 6 pages, including sag and this and that. That's why this sounds better to me than anything out there. And I think Fractal had better effects. But now that they've done their updates, they're pretty close. I mean, how many effects do you really need? If you're doing Van Halen and Phaser, you need a compressor, you need an overdrive. I got a vintage mixer in the effects loop on this to give it that sound. I was gonna sneeze. I feel the rain coming. Sink the pink. Sink the stink. What? See, all of a sudden I'm congested. And I said I heard thunder, right? Now you get to see my sinuses in full bloom. Man, clogged all the way up. See that? Unbelievable. Out of nowhere, that happens to me. It sucks sometimes, being me. Yeah, and I'm working on the pros and cons of a Kemper. Oh, the powered. The powered's good, and it's got a lot of watts, and it pushes the cabs. You can run probably 4 cabs on the 600 watt powered amp. It is solid state, and the thing is, it makes it less polyphonic because solid state run with solid state is a better combination. It's not fighting each other. That's the pro. The con is you don't have tube sound. But I mean, does this sound like an amp or does it sound like a tube amp? I don't feel air push, but you know what? When you're in a studio, sometimes you're in a different room so you can hear people talk. You don't have that amp push in a recording studio. I ran into Rob Roy, who owns Power Station, the Bon Jovi thing. We're gonna do a live stream with him too. I ran into him over by his shop, and he's recorded a lot of famous people. I'm thinking about doing a live stream right at the studio, so you guys get to see. He owns one of 3 mixers in the world. It's unbelievable. If you see the pictures, like in some of my posts with me and Dave, and no, I'm not in the pictures. It's Dave. I took the pictures. It's Dave, the guitar player from Plasmatics, and Patrick holding the signed guitar I did. They that was in Rob's studio. Yeah, and I'm trying to figure out which kind of rhythm to do for you guys for that. Tom suggested I do a rhythm track so you guys can, do some lead stuff over it. So I don't know if I'm going to go like metalish, like kind of stuff, like radish, or do I go bluesy? I haven't decided yet, because I was playing different tracks today. I was working on them today. I played this one. That was kind of one of them with the less gain. So it's more. Who knows? I don't know what I was going to do. I was just messing with rhythm. Or we could do it heavier. I don't know. Maybe I do 2 different tracks. One for the rock and roll guys, one for the more bluesy rock guys. Who knows? Then you guys can pick whatever track you want. I don't remember that either. Yeah, Restream helps a lot. Whoops, I don't want that. Atomic Punk. Yeah, Atomic Punk. That's the one. The Flies. Yeah, digital, electric Amish. Oh, Kurt Mitchell. That's right. Kurt Mitchell. Dude, he's the one if you want to know some of the EVH tricks. I should relearn I'm the one. I don't really know it that well. No, that's because I confuse that because I'm the one is actually part of the Mean Street thing. The atomic jizzy filter. Oh, no water, lots of coffee. Yeah, I don't like water. I'm not a fish. I drink the zero sodas and beer and tequila, poison tap water. Kicks dropped me a bomb. I don't remember that one either. I used to know Kick songs. Cold Cold Shower was. I used to play that all the time. Dum dum bam 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 bam. That was one of my Cold Shower is one of my favorites. Let's see. Glenn Fricker would argue about that. Yeah, he's another one. He worked all day and then calls himself a producer when he was doing that on the side. It's kind of like who was it that was building cars? He was a car builder and then he went into or vans. It was Glenn Fricker, right? Used to build fucking vans or something. Calling he wasn't a producer all his life. He got into that later. And then he's claimed the fame was a Queensrÿche song that never charted and they never called him back to do anything else. I wonder why. Maybe it wasn't so good. And he tries to shill guitar products and he's not even a guitar player. Unbelievable because he's just going after the money. Yeah, Nan's okay. Yeah, Axe Effects like 3 is really good. The AM4 is good. Yeah, yeah. I just like the sound of the amps on this. But I think like the Fractal if Fractal could do the liquid profiling like this could because most studios have these. Like if you go into like Michael Wagner, he makes you play through a Kemper. Like when I worked with him, you had to play through a Kemper. You know, and then King's X used to work with Michael Wagner too. And Michael told a funny story because Ty Trebor played through modelers for so long. He made him play through actually a Marshall, and he couldn't control the feedback or anything. He had trouble because he was so used to a effects processor. But you have to remember, a lot of the '80s effects processors they had those huge racks. The heads were just power amps. All their sound came from rack gear, which is essentially what Kemper is. It's those big rack gear, the Bradshaw units, and all the rack gear in one unit now. If you want that sound, you can pump it through. Like I have a VHT 5050 power amp with tubes, and I can run two 412 cabinets with tube power. So I have the ability to have any preamp, and really preamps are what? Diodes and on a board, a motherboard. It's all cosmetic, really. It's not the real sound. The real sound is through the transformers. But if you have a VHT fry at power amp, who gives a shit? The milk? Yeah, I do drink milk. It's called Silk, and I drink coconut milk. That's the only milk I like. And the reason why is because I'm diabetic and it's only got like 5 grams of sugar. Gary Holt. Yeah, and I tried to find out what Nuno was playing through because I just saw him with Jeff Scott Soto. I don't know where it was, but they were doing "Stoned in Love" by Journey. And when I looked on where his feet are, he had a huge pedal board. It looked like a Helix. I don't know what he's playing through. I tried to look it up to see what he's playing. I'm gonna have to text him and see if he'll tell me, because he was using an effects unit going into his amps. He's not using the raw Marshall sound. It sounded like Nuno, just like him, but like the Kempers have the JVM and other Marshall heads in there. You can get the exact sound. These are all profiled through liquid profiling, so these heads aren't modeled heads. These are exact copies through that profiling. Whether it's AI, I don't know, but however Kemper designed this, when like in my rack, I have my EVH heads. I have exact heads. I got my Marshall triple X head in there. And when you A/B it in the room, you can't tell. And I think that's the problem Tom Bakovic had. He was like, man, this has everything in it. I can come in and get 5 different my heads and not even carry anything. It's a small unit. But he's not going to publicly tell people, because he shit on Kemper because I'm using Kemper now. So that was his, where guys with Kemper going to be in 10, 15 years from now. He said something like that, but he didn't call me out. But, his boy was using Kemper, Tuner Boy, Justin Meyer, and then he took the Kemper down. So you can't see it, but he's playing through Kemper, and now he's trying to shred. And he probably bought Kemper because Tom was using it, because he worked for Tom. You have similar sinus problems? You did a lot of cocaine too? No, I'm just kidding. No, after my surgery, when I have the lymph nodes removed and that the nerve damage, I sometimes it's weird when the storms roll in. It's like that moisture in the air changes, or something changes, or an electricity changes around me, and it just, you know, I don't know what it is. What's up, Cosmic? You'll never forget the Plasmatics. Wendy O. Williams. She kind of scared me when she came out when I was a kid. Yeah. Well, I might do a couple tracks and then just do it that way, because the problem is a lot of people are on different time schedules. Like, I forgot who it was. He's like, it's 2 a.m. here. So I might just do it on video, and then you guys can pick it. I might do 3 tracks. Maybe I'll do a jazzy track, for the guys like Tom and like you, because you can solo over anything mechanic. So, you can pick, or do all 3. It doesn't matter to me. But like the rock and roll kind of bluesy guys, older guys, they might like a rock blues track. Some of the younger guys on here might want a heavier track, and then some guys may want a jazzier kind of blues track. Maybe I'll do 3 different tracks and let everybody have a go at it. If I do Boogie Woogie, Mechanic wins. So don't do that. Malcolm Young. Oh, Malcolm Young rhythm track. Do I have any Malcolm Young kind of style songs? Let me think. I have to go back a ways probably for me. Let's see. Did I ever write something that simple in that style? Older songs. I can figure something out though. Maybe I'll do like a Angus Young kind of track. Itchy throat, so annoying. Sometimes I get that at night. Like my throat will dry up from sleeping because I have it so cold. See, now I feel like I gotta sneeze. Gigi jinxed me. No, like I get itchy throat, and sometimes it is from the backup, from the nasal drip, or the dry throat. We can figure something out like that. You don't need Restream? I do. Restream was good enough to give me the Pro for free, and then I keep, it's got Restream up in the corner and then Jip Boy on the bottom. Yeah, and again, when I do, I'll just do three separate tracks. Maybe I'll keep the tempos the same, but do 3 separate tracks with different chords. Or maybe I'll do this. Maybe I could do the same chords with different variations. That would be interesting. To do to take the chords exactly the same, right? And do 3 different kinds of genres. That might be interesting. I'd have to work on that. That might be challenging for me. That might be a cool idea too. You have Streamlabs? Your channel's just goofing around with your friends? I'm going to send Andy a free link. I got a new one. It's called Gay Streams. For when he plays down at Gay Street. And where is that? Knoxville? A Barracuda? Oh, Little Guitars? That's a great song. I only remember parts of the intro. I used to be able to play almost like every song Van Halen ever did. You know, it's been so long since I played those. Like I learned all the Van Halen songs. I learned all the Ozzy songs, like on Diary and the first one. I don't remember them all. You know, it's kind of like Over the Mountain. I've played that so many times, even with Dave, you know, with the... You know, all that stuff, you know. Glenn Fricker has quite the look going. Oh, that's what he did. He worked on the Chrysler minivan. Yeah, and then these guys want to come on here like they've been producing all their whole lives and this and that, And a lot of people want to get into music, but again, and then they fail or they want to quit. And like there was, I told you, whatever his name was, I don't remember. It's in my thing, but I said, good for you, man, because you finally figured out you're in the wrong genre of producing. You're into metal, like Periphery. There's no money in it. Even Periphery can't sustain a living, so they have to do other things. It's sad, but they pick and choose their own deals. Yeah, the volume is better with a streaming service. Like I was having, remember when it was like crushing the, because a lot of people are doing live, and then a lot of people were complaining. A lot of the fraudsters are skimming back on the live and stuff. But a lot of the people, like I couldn't figure out why my sound. All of a sudden, my sound went out. You know what I mean? That was weird. So Restream gave me the free thing. Yeah, Michael, I can give you Tennis Nuts' phone number. Gigi and Jizzy, that video I made went viral for your comments. It was special and much needed. You took him down because you felt exposed. Going crazy. He'd be back soon. I had a bipolar day. I have that every day, bro. Don't feel bad. No, I'll do him. I'll do. I think I'll just do him in standard. Oh, amp farm and amplitude. So amplitude is really tone X. I had amplitude too. It was fucking great. You get the screenshot in the computer with all the pedals on it or your phone. It was great. Amplitude. I actually enjoyed amplitude. I still got it on my phone. Fairy Life milk. Fair Life. Yeah, I've been drinking Silk coconut. It just tastes good. Yeah. Again, you some of the Kempers you got to look around and get deals on them. You can get the powered head without the pedal board for like probably 500-600 bucks if you don't mind doing everything on the computer and then putting it in. But like for me, the Kemper Stage it has everything in there, so I don't have the separate head with the separate pedal. It's all right in there. The Kemper Stage for me is the way to go. I wonder if that would fit in the rack. If I could fit it in the rack, I'd sell my rack and sell the other one. I only need one and buy another stage. Takes up less room too. Oh, the sparks are amazing. That's what Jerry plays through too. Yeah, yeah. I saw that. There's a video of it, I think. I asked him when I gotta set up a day with him. He said next week sometime, so we'll see. Justin? Yeah, it's AI. I ran it through my program. It's not real. He didn't write any of that shit. He's another fraud. Yeah, Justin Meyer. I ran that through my system. He said he's playing the lead. Everything else is possibly more than likely AI. So even that singer he used, they did the vocals and then ran it to pitch it correctly through AI. And what it did is it processed the whole track when he did that. And so I don't know what's real on there and what's not. But I know it's been AI fixed. And a lot of the drums and the bass was AI. It's fraud. I even called him out. I go, you know that's AI, bro. You've been busted. No comment. Took off my comments. He knows he's a fake. He's a fraud. Matter of fact, he was one of the guys that gave me shit when Tom was giving me shit because he worked for him. So he was trying to push my button. Shred sucks, and you suck at what you do. Your tone sucks. It's all digital. And then here he is playing a fucking Kemper, right? He's just like Tom, you know, or was like Tom. I don't know if Tom still does shit. I guess he still says shit like that. He's still playing through the Kemper and then trash Kemper, 2 weeks ago? Yeah, Justin, I've commented on all his videos and he takes them down. And then he ended that one lick. He had one, it was a lead. And the run with that at the end was like. And I'm like, dude, you don't end on the third or the flat five. You got to end on the 5 to the 1. It sounded like he's out of key. Like he has no fucking sense of theory and he wants to talk about theory. He's another hack. You don't end on a flat 5 when you're playing a fucking 1 chord at the end. You know, you would. It's so stupid the way he ended it. Like. That's what he did. Here's a note. It's dissonant sounding. Why would you end a fucking solo like that? That's hack 101. Ain't no studio fucking producing that because they would have said, take that shit off of there. I've been in studios. Our producer goes, that didn't sound right. You redo the end of it. That's what a producer would have said. That just doesn't sound right to me. Even like when CC DeVille would do stuff, he sounded like he was playing in weird keys, but he was playing in the diminished minor a lot. So like when he would do like, you know, those weird kind of sounds like that. Then you would hear him play like it would sound. He would do that lick in there too, but it was supposed to be this lick. He would play those weird bends, and they were like flat 7s and 4s, but it sounded weird. But what he was doing is playing out of the F sharp. There's your blues note out of like an E. He would slide it up a half step to get out of it. He was actually smarter than people gave him credit for, because he would do that weird lick in there. And then that blues note is your flat 5, which is also 1, 2, 3. It's your third in A major, where he does his run. And if you look, there's your A major. Which also can be you can use that in E. Remember I said you can cross scales if you're just playing 1s and 5s? He was smart about that. You know, it's a weird thing, but he was good at it. But it gave him his own distinct sound. Was it the best idea? I don't think so, but I got to give him credit. He didn't sound like anyone else. Soon as he played, you know who he was. You know what I mean? As good as Richie Kotzen is, and he's a great songwriter singer, now he plays like every other guitar player. There's nothing special about his playing. Hate to say that, but it's true. Butcher Baby Plasmatics, the rap and the heavy tracks. You blew Kiss off the stage. Oh, the thing you like in Drop D. That's a little busy. So like I'll keep some of it simple. Ragweed heart. So like if I do something like if I do a track, I might go and then so you're playing the 1, 4, and 5, or I'll play the relative. You know what I mean? That way you guys can just have had it. Because if I make it real busy, the parts could clash for you. I could do something in Drop D, though. The nasal drifts to run off. Actually, if I had that stuff, it'd probably clear it up, to be honest with you. Ron Wood rhythm track. I don't remember how I got it. I think I had to get, no, I had to get it through my email. Waiting on a friend. Yeah, waiting on a friend. The drums are cool. Yeah, you had little guitars down. Crazy went over the mountain. The bear went over the mountain. Intruder. I don't remember that one. Yeah, I listened to Dylan. Jacob. Fuck Bob. No. Bob Dylan was unique as well. Here's a guy that wasn't technical, was unique, voice. Johnny Cash wasn't technical, unique voice. Great songs. And you knew who it was right away. You don't wear designer clothes because you don't want to talk about one more cup of coffee. Dirty Movies is cool too. Um, there was a lot of cool songs. Hear About It Later was cool. So This Is Love is a little tricky. E flat. Yeah, I think the Silk is the same thing. It's not really. It's like maybe 5 grams of sugar, no lactose. I'll have to check it out. Fairlife. I'll try it. I'll have to look. Twice the protein. Oh, if you think if you play the real deal, you are the real deal, and you show it. Yeah, yeah. It's hard to cheat anything live. That's why I watch like guys like Jace Allen can barely play a pentatonic. Scar my guitar can't play. Ball Shredder is actually pretty good. He's better than Max guitar. Probably Ball Shredder is probably out of all the shills, probably the better of the player. Better than Paul Henning. He can actually play. I'm not going to say he's advanced, but he can play fast and he can play scales. Lights, camera, action. Yeah, the Spark. Jerry loves the Spark. He's got that thing dialed in. The reactor I played through, I should have bought that. They sold out of those in 2 days. Great amp. Steve from Boston using it. I think he's got a little too much reverb on. I like a little more. Like I have reverb, but the guitar is. I don't have like the pre delays, so you can hear lip reverb, but the guitar's out front. It's very articulate sounding. I almost thought of this Screwdriver. I almost thought of it. I'm gonna have to go look at that and see how that's played. I keep hearing that when I hit the E. The Fender Deluxe in your Spark. Yeah, I have a bunch of Plexis too. I got some old ones. I blew one up. I have three left. The other one I just told him to throw in the garbage because he fixed it and it sounded like shit. I said, "You can keep it. I don't want it." I paid him for it, fixing it. Yeah, the 50, so like you can get all those, like you can get a Kemper to sound like, I don't know. You could probably, let me see. What's my browser on? Let's see. Oh, Lukather lead. What is that? Steve Lukather lead. See, this is a stock patch right out of the box. Not bad. What's on this one? So this is the browser. These are the different amps and stuff. 90s. Hard hitter. Let me see. Let me go back the other way. That's a deluxe, stock deluxe, no tweaked. I just turned the reverb up a little. Not bad, son. Center swing stuff. So let me go out. Let me see what the. So this is the EQ is on straight all zeros. So let's add. There you go. I added a little presence and. See, that's not bad. See, I could record tracks with that. See, I'm going to store that actually. Store. Replace. So that's in the browser. So if I go back on, let me turn this back down. If I did back on perform. See, that's the thing about Kemper. You can go from that deluxe sound all the way to that heavy sound with an Ingle in a matter of 2 seconds. Chubby Myers. Hi, I'm Chubby Myers. I'm a professional Nashville guitarist, and my ears are better than everyone's. He better have the doc. You know what I think it is? He's so heavy that the fat in his ears, the fat pockets are covering up the. Oh, Dolly Parton, yeah. Yeah, Tim Curry passed too. Turbo cancer from the. It might have been. I had a lot of family members had problems with the vaccine. Yeah, she was nice. I met her twice. I met her at Grand Ole Opry. She said, "Boy, you're a biggin." I said, "Huh? You're big. You're tall." She is little. Oh my God, she was so little. Yeah, no bad notes. Yeah, she was such an iconic person. I mean, she sang with everybody back in the day. From she was on Hee Haw and all those shows, and Kenny Rogers, and she did some modern duets as well with some. I think she did stuff with like Slash, and she did like a metal kind of album with a bunch of rockers like Nikki Sixx, and that was really cool. And then she was an actress, and she was. Yeah. Richie Kotzen. He's a great guitar player. He just doesn't sound original anymore. But I mean, you got to figure out same thing. You would never know that on the tracks that I'm on. Some of the tracks I'm not allowed to talk about, those number one pop tracks and shit, they take away all your ability. They want simple, they want easy. Because a lot of it, if it's a vocalist, like, say, a Beyonce that has a huge range, they want a lot of room where they can move. So they want it very simple. Yeah. Yeah, that first Shrapnel record was sick. I think, what was it called? Fever or something? I don't remember the name of it. Yeah, Fair Warning was a ridiculous album. I do, it's funny. 1984 has some really good tracks on it, like Drop Dead Legs, House of Pain. House of Pain is great. Drop Dead Legs, House of Pain. Th- I those are unbelievable songs, and those could have been on Fair Warning. Dave has just lost his fucking. He told the story about Ozzy and Sabbath. Did you guys see that one? They were blaming him for Ozzy missing, and he had his old hotel key, so he went to the next state thinking that was where he was supposed to be, and he slept for 18 hours. They were at the FBI looking for him at airports and shit. Fucking Dave and his stories. I don't know how true that is. Dave said it, not me, so I don't know. I gotta tell you, it tastes better, not so cold. You can taste more of it after it's, just kind of chilled. Definitely a different flavor. You want the reactor? Yeah, Van Halen won, but Fair Warning for me was the pinnacle. D, what is the same shameless plug? D Clyde? Oh, overstepping the moment. I don't know. Yeah. Oh, you were dropping Danzig on there? He hated it? Man, Glenn and his family are nice fucking people. He's got a bad name too. My dad, I didn't know who they were, but they were the ones that helped me get into GIT. So Glenn's brothers are like phenomenal musicians. Fuck Max. He don't know shit. Danzig is one of those bands that I would put up there with the Ramones, you know, Sid Vicious, Sex Pistols. To me, Danzig was right there with them. Because after Danzig, then you had the Marilyn Mansons. You had a lot of people copy Danzig too. They didn't get a lot of credit for that. No, I never played the Ingve Marshalls, but he had a head called the Rhino. I don't know who made it, but it had a DOD chip in there for the overdrive. I've been trying to get. So Gary Kramer from Musicians Exchange will sell you that head. He doesn't know what he would sell it for. So if anyone's interested in one of Ingve's heads, it's called the Rhino. Matter of fact, I'll let you guys look that up. Look up Rhino head made for Ingve. He had those, and he's got one of the original Ingve heads over there. Yeah, they're heavily modified. His pickups too. The clean sound, you like that clean sound for a dog? Yeah, I did. That was a What did I say that was? Let me go back. That's a it's Michael Britt. Everything was on 12. I adjusted it, turned up the reverb a little, but that's a 62 deluxe. I wonder. Here, let me get the Strat. Let's play. Should we play the Strat with it? Here, let me see. Just for shits and giggles. Ugh. Put that one there. Grab this way over here. Ugh. Let's see what the Strat would sound like through the Fender amp. Might as well, right? I have to adjust the volume. Let's see. So here's bridge. Everything's on 10. That's the middle. One up. That's one of my favorite tones. And then neck. Neck sounds great too. So if we added a little more gain for like a lead. Man, that sounds good. What did that take me? Less than 2 minutes to do a setting? Bon Jovi accounts, they're all fake. That was one of my accounts you caught me. Yeah. The Lizzie with clean tone, yeah. Lenny Kravitz subbed you too? Yeah. I forgot that too. Should we add some delay? Let's see. Maybe too much. Let's see. they get a little delay. Lenny Convinci. Whoops. Wow. I miss a lot. Walkman Music, Danzig, 5'3". Man, this one's not going as quick as the other one. Man, I missed a lot of comments. Dolly. Oh. Yeah, Dolly wrote a lot of cool stuff. Danzig t-shirt. Danzig was handsome. All right, RF. I don't know if I caught that in time. When he first heard Dio, he thought he was 10 foot tall. Yeah, Glenn got punched. I forgot who it was. But to be honest, it was an argument backstage. It wasn't a... Glenn turned to the side and he kind of sucker punched him. I'll say it was a sucker punch. Because Glenn ain't a pussy. Glenn will fight you. I don't remember who it was. You never liked Danzig? He was a different kind of music. But you had, like, who was that guy that died? The guy with the weird voice, black hair. Richard, something, Steele. I forgot the name of his band. I don't know. I think that was one of the guys that died. Northside Kings. Yeah, it was some guy. It was a guy. He did get knocked out. Yeah, a lot of those guys are short. Danny. Yeah, he knocked him out. I think he got hit by the side because he was. There was more than one person arguing with him because he was talking to a bunch of people and the one guy hit him. Like he kind of turned and he hit him. It wasn't like, let's go. Uh, yeah, Peter Steele. That's it. I forget what actually happened, but one of the brothers told me that he had turned slightly because someone else started talking and the guy hit him kind of from the side, which is kind of like a sissy move, but fight's a fight. You got to be, like you said, you got to be ready for anything. And Glenn was a small guy. And again, he'd fight you, but I don't know how solid his chin was. And it depends where. I don't know if he got hit right on the chin or towards like the ear on the back of the jaw. Henry Rollins? I never met him. I can't remember if I did talk to him, but it was either through emails or texts a long time ago. And I forgot what he was asking me. It was something about a collaboration with, I don't know, he had like a bunch of people he was looking to do stuff with. He dimed his chin. Yeah, they said it was face to face, but the other brother said it wasn't. Oh, it got cut off quick? The video? I'll have to look into it because they told me there was a couple people talking, and first it was him, and then he had turned like for a second. Yeah, I don't know. I talked to Henry. I don't know if he's tough or anything. You know, a lot of guys. How do I say this in a nice way? A lot of guys think they're tough, but like I studied 4 different martial arts, and I've been in rings with some of the UFC fighters when I was younger. You're looking 20 years ago, and Vincent that comes on here, I'll tell you. You know, like Vincent's the head instructor. He was the head instructor for American Top Team. I used to roll with him in the yard. And then Edson Denise, you can look up Edson Denise. He couldn't tap Edson out, so I started showing him weird locks. And then all of a sudden, Edson was like, "Where are you learning that?" He's like, "My neighbor." He's like, "Your neighbor?" But a lot of those weird locks were from Danny and Santo that worked with Bruce Lee. They weren't Shaolin moves. They were stuff that he developed with Bruce Lee, which were like weird wrist locks and finger locks. Yeah, Glenn did instigate it. He was very particular like about live shows, and I don't know exactly. I don't remember what it was about, but it was something about 2 stages or something, and he wanted just one stage so that the people. It was something to do with the way the other stage was, and people that wanted to see them, they had to, and they turned it like wasn't fair because the people up front. I don't know what that was. Dave Mustaine. Dave looks like he can fight. I don't think like Hetfield and those guys. They look. James is pretty beefy, but and he gets mad easy. James, I know, he's quick to get mad. But Dave just is one. Dave looks like a scrapper to me. Dave Mustaine. Hapkido. No, I studied Chinese Shaolin. I studied Aikido. My uncle that just passed, that was a BSO cop. He showed me Aikido, and I studied Tai Chi and what else? Oh, Jeet Kune Do with um Danny. All right, Gigi. What time is it? I don't even know. Ooh, it's 11. 9, 10, 11. So what do you, Ferdog? What do you think of this patch? That's a Fender Deluxe. That sounds fucking good. All right, Gigi. Good night. Everybody sing. Good night. Everybody. No, I never studied that. You know, and it's funny. Being a big guy, they always tell me. And my uncle, he was a little guy. He was like 150 pounds. But like when BSO had a big guy, they were like, call John. He was with Aikido. He was so small that he was so fast that you couldn't see what he was doing. Danny and Santo was fast as shit too. And he told us, there was only a couple of us in the class when it first started in Kendall. Wood was the other one. Now Wood runs like a fighting academy, but Danny was the originator of that. Danny told me and Wood that he said he felt like a grandmother compared to Bruce Lee. And when we watched Danny, he was a blur, and I'm like, there's no way he was that much faster than you. That's impossible. He's like, yeah, he was. He said that's why the simple moves that he did, you can't beat him to a punch because he was so lightning fast. It was his speed that really was the factor. So a lot of the Jeet Kune Do is based off of fitness in martial arts. You know, and one of the things that Danny was taught, when Bruce Lee first with the kicks was you don't kick above the waist. But then Bruce Lee started with Chuck Norris kicking above the waist, but Bruce Lee was so fast at it that he could he could throw a kick or a punch to the wall with a black belt standing in front of him. He'd say, "Any hand and arm, and I'll match your arm and hand and beat you to the wall." It was weird. Godspell Ronan. That's Vinny. Godspell Ronan. He's been on here a bunch of times. You've talked to him for a dog. Godspell Ronan. No. Martial arts, you get beat up. My second degree black belt test with the Shaolin was I had to walk on my knees on pavement, holding two chairs without breaking my wrist on my knees in 102-degree temperature. And then when I was done, I had to get up and run with the class on the outer perimeter of Coral Springs, which was probably 10 miles in the summer in a full black gi. And when I got back, his he turned the dojo up to 100 degrees, and he made us throw every punch and every kick 50 times with each hand, each leg. Then the other part of the test is you had to turn around, and they would spin you. He had weapons laid out on the ground, samurais, all kinds of stuff. And when they spun you around, you had to pick which weapon you had to defend yourself against. Dizzy. And his wife was a beast. All right, Michael. Peace, love, and barbecue. Yeah, I have a second degree in that. I probably have like a 4 or 5th degree, probably in Aikido. Um, the Shaolin, no, in Jeet Kune Do is like second, but they didn't really have belts, But there was like Jerry Petit and all those guys, they would rank us. But in Chinese Shaolin, I went as high as 6. In Tai Chi, I don't even really count that, but I have 4 black belts in 4 different arts. But I can see a lot of differences in the arts. Like some of it would work, some of it wouldn't. So I understood the Jeet Kune Do principle of, we had to fight different people. They would invite for like a week or two wrestlers, and a week or two of boxers, and a week or two of, like a Muay Thai fighter. And I'll tell you, a lot of the kickboxing, a lot of people think that's a very nonchalant sport, but the real Muay Thai is very aggressive. Just like Judo. Judo is a very aggressive sport. A lot of people think it's all fun and games, but when you fight those guys, they're all over you and they don't stop. Well, I only tweaked that. That's a patch already in there. That's a Michael Britt patch. You just tweaked it like an app. It's got the controls on there, bass, mid, treble, presence. Had the gain, and then I had the buttons over there. I push on the delay or the reverb, it's marked, and then adjust it to what I like. It's really easy. But if I was to recommend a Kemper, I would say get the stage. It's got everything laid out right in front of you. Oh, Dave, yeah. Dave's starting to show age. It was all the drinking and the drugs and the smoking. Yeah, I love Kemperman because to me that sounds like a real deluxe. my favorite position. The middle. That one's alright too. That's more like a tally. This might be my new favorite, the neck on this. I hear a noise. What happened? Oh, the jack's loose. It's like, where's that noise? Let's see if I put it this way. Let me see. Is that loose in there? Oh yeah, it's loose. I'm gonna have to tighten that up. Got a loose jack. QC on the fender sucks. That just sounds good to me. Sorry about that. I'm going to have to tighten that jack up. Little Loctite, tighten it up a little nice and put some little baby Loctite on there. Oh, cancer? Yeah. Yeah, when you have some surgeries, it really knocks you down, especially as you get older. Like basically I'm gutted in my stomach, so what can happen to me? Cancer. Am I gonna rule that out? No. I drink a lot of shit, like the monsters. I'm not stupid. Yeah, that karate. There's some really good karate. There's I forget the names of them, but there's some aggressive karate too. Shotokan. There's all kinds of stuff out there. There's a lot of great instructors now. I was lucky enough when I studied Shaolin. I had guys like Al Fritz and stuff that were masters like certain animals, like the tiger, the monkey. That I learned some of those like exclusively from some of the guest instructors. You know, Bob. He was in a book called Who's Who's in Karate. What was his last name? Racine. Jack Racine. Jack Racine. He was in a. If you look him up, he was in a book called Who's Who in Karate. Jack Racine. He was one of my main instructors. Some of those guys were just. I'll never forget. We had this crazy kid in class. It was a black belt, Tommy. Little guy, beefy, and he did a flying axe kick. I don't know. You ever throw the axe and see it? He did. He was like, I don't know if I should try this, and he's like, yeah, do it. and he'd come running and flip. And Jack was like 6'2", 6'4". He was tall. I don't remember. And when I saw him jump, I knew that that heel caught him right in the head, split him open. It was massive. The drunken master. Jackie Chan. Yeah, it's funny. I forget about all those chords for a dog. Sometimes I just forget. And it's funny because it's like certain other aspects. Like if you're doing rock tracks for a lot of rock, you start thinking more on that line. If I end up doing a lot of pop songs, and when it rains, it pours. Last week I ended up doing like 9 or 10 songs last week, and it just, thank God they were all the same genre, because it becomes an issue. Yeah, and like I said, usually if I'm writing, there's simple stuff, like for the pop stuff or country. That kind of stuff. Segway rock. Segway back rock. Oh, The Crow. The Crow was great. Yeah, I used to like that, even remember the movie Warriors? Warriors, come on, play, Warriors. Like even stuff like that influenced me. I love that movie. Escape to New York, Warriors. Man, there were so many good movies back then. The Steve McQueen movies. Oh man. Let's see, what is it? 11. Why? 11:30. I guess I'll take off. So, no more guitars for a while. I think I get one next week. I guess that's a while, and then another one after that week. So I got 2 more guitars coming. Then I'm gonna open a guitar store. Look out, Tom. Bringing some modern guitars. Fuck that vintage. No. Vintage stuff is okay too. I mean, it's really what you like. That's all it is. I got vintage stuff too. That one that's coming, that Kramer's 89, 89, 99, 2009, 2008. It's over 30 years old. I love that movie, Warriors. Warriors, come on. Cyrus, he's looking for you, man. Cyrus. I love that movie. Death Wish, oh my god. Death Wish, another favorite. Oof. I love the one Jimmy Page wrote the soundtrack with. Ooh, that's another Death Wish, because I love Jimmy Page. That was a huge movie for me to influence me as well. You know, Jimmy Page, Zeppelin's one of my favorite all-time bands. As far as like single guitar players, I just love the fact that Jimmy Page, he wasn't a great lead player, but he was tasty in his songwriting. And then you had Eddie, which had the great lead playing, great rhythm, great sound. And then you had like the Frank Marinos and Uriah Heep. There were so many good ones. Can you dig it? Yeah. Drunken style, I don't know if it would be practical or effective. Now Monkey is. I think Monkey can do some damage. Tiger definitely. Tiger is very aggressive. You know, like 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 if you're punching, you're hitting with a fist. Where Tiger, you got 5 points to rake an eye. You know what I mean? So it could go either way. Because if someone grabs your fingers and finger locks you, so you gotta. It just depends how good and fast you are with it. Yeah, I love Jimmy Page. You know, And he recorded a lot with Strats and Tellys. Let's see. We had a little gain here. What? I don't know if he would be on it. I don't know if he would be like that. I think that's it, right? I don't know. That's just good tone to me. He probably didn't use that. I forgot what amps he used. I wish Kemper would put that in here. All right, everybody. It's always a pleasure as usual. I won't put no songs on the outro. Yeah, Jimmy is a great field player. It's kind of like Richie Blackmore. Richie was a sloppy guitar player, but it was his songs and the way he put them together. My Woman from Tokyo. Some great songs. Can you dig it? All right, everybody. Thank you for joining me. I hope you liked the information and everything. A lot of people still hanging out. It's after 11. 24 people still on here. Unbelievable. So I appreciate every single one of you that come and watch and share and, love the channel. It's a growing community. It's going to keep growing, and the truth is going to get out there, and eventually these people are going to stop lying to everybody. Especially the kids. It's the kids thing. Yeah. Before the Supro, he played something else. I don't remember. It's an old amp. Something like a weird name, like Master Valley or some shit. He had a weird amp. All right, everybody. Peace out.